Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to today's Untethered Daily with myself, Noah Hammond Terrell. This is the live stream where I tap into my innate inner wisdom, which I believe we all have access to, and download a message of truth and growth and expansion for myself, first and foremost, and then I share it with all of you because it helps people out there in the world as well. And this is a growth tool I've used for many years to support me staying always on my leading edge of growth and expansion, rapidly growing and expanding, so to speak. And let's dive in. Let's see what's coming through today. So what do I most need to hear for my highest good and for the highest good of all other beings involved? Change is a good thing. It's funny because the human machine is programmed from a different time than the time that you're currently living in right now. It's why there's literally, what's up, Sarah? It's why there's literally, and what's up, Ted? It's why there's literally a new race of human beings being birthed and born right now. We're changing in our capacity. We're changing as spiritual beings. We're changing in our capacity for growth. You see it obviously in certain societal traits, like the fact that you used to go through maybe one career or two careers in a lifetime, and now the average person in the workforce is going to go through 5 or 6 careers. Change is accelerating. Just like technology is accelerating, just like consciousness is accelerating, it's all one thing that's happening at the same time. And so the funny part of it is sort of the fact that you have a biological system that is not wired for the environment that you currently find yourself in. And it's important to notice and recognize this because as the operator of your body system, you need to know what it's capable of doing and what it tends to do instead. It's like if you have an airplane with 2 engines and the left one's a little sluggish. You need to know that that left one is sluggish so that you can fly the plane accordingly. The same is true about being a human, period, right now. You need to know that you're not wired for the type of change that's being asked of you. And that's actually the gift of this lifetime, is that people who are alive right now in this current explosion of awareness that humanity is going through have an opportunity for massive spiritual growth. And you also have an opportunity for an existential crisis that may never end if you don't recognize that there are certain things your body is prepared to do naturally and easily, and certain things that your body will resist doing and fear doing and fight you in doing. And so you need to know what those are and what the bypass mechanisms are. It's like the video you were watching the other day on how motivation is bullshit. Motivation is bullshit because the things that you need to do for your growth and expansion will rarely be things that you actually find yourself fully inspired to do. You might find an inspired idea to do them, but when it comes to time to actually execute them, there will most likely be body resistance, ego resistance, fear, doubt, uncertainty, or other forms of thoughts and vibrations that make you hesitate, make you second guess yourself. I'm asking, so, okay, what are those things? What do we focus on? It's really that singular gap. It's that gap when you're going to do something that you know will expand you, and then you hit into the fear, doubt, and uncertainty. What that is old programming that was designed to keep you alive, essentially. And the hypocrisy of it, or the paradoxical nature of it, is that it's now the thing that if you don't do will keep you dying. Right? You're either growing or dying. You're either expanding or contracting. And in this world where massive growth is being asked of those who are willing to answer that call, when you grow, you expand, you become more of who you truly are, and you fulfill more of your true life purpose, your soul purpose of expansion. When you contract, you frankly feel less than, you dislike yourself, you can feel the loss of momentum, and ultimately you know you're not living up to your fullest potential in those moments. And so it becomes a simple game of If you reference your stream from yesterday of awakening to the gap, or noticing the gap and finding the presence and the bliss and the joy in that gap, this is a similar advice in that there's a gap between the moment of inspiration and the moment of execution where there is fear. And that gap will always be there. Think about it as the moment when an army is about to run headfirst into a sword fight. Every single person in that army is afraid, and there's a power in the collective in that moment that brings them all collectively forward into the fear and into the fray. And so a structure like that in your life can be massively valuable. Is there a way that in those moments, in those gaps, you have outside influence, whether it's a picture on your wall that inspires you, whether it's a statement on your whiteboard that inspires you, whether it's literally an accountability partner that you talk to that you can say 1, 2, 3, jump with? It doesn't really matter. It's just important to recognize that a structure for seeing, recognizing, and feeling the fear, and then doing it anyway when you're talking about aligned actions of expansion. This will be massively valuable to you so that you build momentum every day. Because ideally, if you're doing what you're really meant to be doing, you should hit one of these moments each day. One of these moments where the valuable thing for you to do would be to feel some sort of fear, hesitation, doubt, distrust, or anxiety, and to recognize that as really a pattern of an old biological system and an old framework of operating that was meant to keep you safe, and then recognizing the value of leaping past that and beyond that and through that gap, and then doing it. Cool. So what's one clear action step for today? It feels like it's to simply recognize that this phenomena exists, and then to create a simple structure of what you'll do in those moments. What's your process? Your 1, 2, 3. Recognize the gap. Do one simple thing that helps you recognize and embody like where you're going to go instead, and then do that other thing and do what you plan on doing instead. So for me, the action step feels like create that simple structure. Like, what is the one thing I'll do in those moments? If you think about it like Tony Robbins style, right? Before Tony Robbins goes on stage, he double pats his chest, he gives himself a little spin, and that's a biological anchor and cue to go do the thing anyway, right? So stage fright doesn't exist, and he comes out in a peak state every time because it's anchored into his body. So I'm feeling like it's something like that. What's your double chest tap spin move that has you just feel the fear and do it anyway? Cool. Well, thanks for joining and watching. Leonard, what's up? Mike, what's up? Brandon, good to see you guys. Thanks for joining me on Untethered Daily. Hopefully you guys found some value in this as well, and I'll see you again soon with another Untethered Daily. Bye for now, everybody.